Hello YouTube! So something that was asked a lot during my Xenoverse 1 videos was, what is my build? And this is a question that's been posted at least once on every single Xenoverse 2 online fight video so far. But at the moment it's kind of pointless me answering that because my current build in terms of just the attribute points were done just for the story mode. So it's not exactly a competitive build. So really it's a story mode build, I guess you could say. And I've not changed it yet because there's not been a situation where I've had to play online against someone where stats have actually mattered, given so far I've only been playing with restrictions on. But that got me thinking, and I decided to do a video showcasing a melee build which I've been using, and I think is fairly solid, to be honest, at least in the sense of how I personally play, which typically is very close up and very melee based rather than using strike supers or key supers. So here you can see my skill set, which is the most important part of this build, given the fights in this video were on the restrictive settings, so stats were completely void. So firstly, for my evasive I picked hyper movement, and honestly just because it's a very useful evasive and it does a bit of damage, and if you use it when your opponent is using an ultimate attack, you'll just break their guard and it's pretty much game over for them at that point. For my ultimates I picked Mystic Flash and reverse Mabaku Senko. That's so awkward to say. Well, the point of this build was to try and predict when my opponent was going to vanish and encounter it. So with Mystic Flash, in my opinion, it's very broken at the moment. It takes 3 bars of ki. It should take 5, it does an insane amount of damage for what it is, and if you catch your opponent in it when they vanish, then they'll have to use 3 more bars of ki to use their evasive to then escape out of it, so they either have to endure the damage or waste, well, altogether they'll be wasting 5 bars of ki because they'll be wasting 2 bars to vanish and then 3 more bars if they have it to then escape it. Reverse Mabaku Senko. Oh god, I hate saying that. Really just to bait them when they're doing a combo on me, so I can do an insane amount of damage on them. And also if I vanish, I can use that straight away if I think they're going to predict me vanishing, and again if it's successful it'll do a ridiculous amount of damage for what it is. Also if I need to do a cheeky stamina reset, Reverse Mabaku Senko is very useful in that sense because it looks like you're wide open but you're actually baiting them, and fucking hell, you will hurt them with it. For my supers, I have after image because if you have your stamina bar broken or you're going for a stamina reset, after image can become in some respects a very good desperation move because of the timing, which in some regards isn't as vibrant. What? Why would timing on after image be vibrant? Oh, fucking kill me. The timing on after image isn't as forgiving as it is on Phantom Fist, plus on Phantom Fist it takes no ki to use, which I think that's going to be patched very soon, so keep that in mind if you do decide to use Phantom Fist rather than after image or super after image strike or instant transmission. Plus if I vanish and I see that they're going to hit me, I can just use after image, it takes 1 bar of ki and I should then be safe from danger. You can see I've got backflip as well, which at the moment takes no ki or stamina to use, so like I've already said a million times in this video so far, I'm sure if I vanish I can then use backflip and I'll be safe from danger. But just keep in mind that if they think you're going to use backflip after you vanish, all they need to do is just step vanish and they've caught you. So you do really need to be careful when you use backflip and just try not to overuse it. I know it's tempting given he uses no ki or stamina, but there's just a bit of a warning for you. Next we have Do or Die, which is a power up, and oh my god, this is new to Xenoverse 2 and it's very useful. So what this does is when you use it, it temporarily reduces damage that is dealt to you and you're kind of invincible while you're using it. I mean, I did have my stamina broken a few times when I used it, but it was when I had like not even a flicker of stamina left. So I think it does drain your stamina if you use it and you take damage, but it's at a very, very reduced rate. So again, if you vanish and then use do or die immediately, you'll get a few invincibility frames, plus you'll get a power up which will reduce damage taken. Oh, and by the way, it's an explosive wave. So on top of all of that which I've just said, you'll also send your opponent flying back, plus it'll deal out a tiny bit of damage. In one of the fights in this video, I actually won the match by using do or die, so just make sure you stick around for that because I thought that was really hilarious. And to finish off my super attacks, I have Shining Slash, more so for the ace in the hole and an element of surprise attack, and of course to catch runners rather than using stamina to dash up to them and to try and hit them. Plus, if you're not expecting it, then it can really be nasty. And finally, my transformation. So I'm sure there's a few of you wondering why I decided to use Potential Unleashed rather than Super Saiyan, and the reason for that is because the Super Saiyan transformation is only really good if you use Super Saiyan 3. The damage that Super Saiyan 3 does is indeed insane, but it comes with just one very critical downfall, and that is the piss poor key recovery. After image and do or die, take 1 bar of key. So really I need something that will boost my stats but not render my key recovery as useless, because I really do need key for this build if I'm going to have any sort of synergy. Really quickly before getting to the fights, I didn't use Kaioken as my transformation because the stamina drain that it has is just too fast, and really to support that you need Rise to Action, which they'll just be wasting a slot, and it'll just kill this particular moveset. Future Super Saiyan does just a tiny bit less damage than Potential Unleashed. I think it's something like 4 or 5% less damage, so if you have Potential Unleashed, you might as well use it over Future Super Saiyan. Super Vegeta, because that just boosts your key supers, and that's not what this build is. And like I've already said, Super Saiyan is useless for this because it's only useful if you're Super Saiyan 3, but in my opinion, for this particular moveset, the damage output isn't worth the terrible key regeneration. And as you can see on the screen right now, this is my current build, and like I've already said, this is just what I use for this story mode, so it's terrible. So without any further ado, let's get into the first fight. So this guy picks Adult Gohan and I pick the Space Earth map. So here I'm just feeling him out. I've already checked his moveset, so I know to watch out for Super Kamehameha, and if I have enough stamina I can then use Hyper Movement and then just completely destroy his stamina and then just wreck him. So here I go for Vanish just to see what he would do, and it looked like he went to go for the back hit there, but I sidestepped and then we went into a clash. We go into another clash here, and I was expecting him to then dash up to me and the throw would have connected, and I think he was thinking the same thing because he went for the burst rush, so fair play to him there. And here I do or die, and that's what it is. It's insane. Now I'm glowing because of chemotherapy. No, okay. So now he's step vanishing because, well, he's got no stamina, so I'm assuming he's doing that to try and recover some. And I know he's going to vanish the very moment he has enough stamina to do so, so I use Mystic Flash, and you can see there, it needs to be nerfed in some way. In a second I go for the stamina break, and I shouldn't have done that in hindsight because it's best to keep your opponent at low stamina without breaking their stamina bar, because they'll just have to keep vanishing when they get more stamina left to try and reduce their damage. But if you give them a chance to recover their full stamina bar, then the match could turn on you because they would have full stamina and you presumably would have a very drained stamina bar, considering you've probably not done a stamina reset. So I think it's worth keeping that in mind and only doing a stamina break if you know you can finish them off or do an insane amount of damage. So after this clash it glitches and Gohan is instantly behind me, Kappa, but it doesn't really matter because I think it surprised him as well, and I was going to transform anyway after that, so I would have knocked him back and I would have been safe. So you just saw there I used the backflip and then I was able to dash away to safety, and then I go for another do or die and instantly dash into him, but he misses. And now they're just step vanishing and stepping away to basically say we have a big dick. So I go for the throw here, and I'm thinking, well, I have low stamina but he has quite a bit of stamina, so he's going to rush into me. So I just use the reverse Mabaku Senko, and that's the game for me. So GG to that guy, and let's move on to the next fight. This was a funny fight because I think it's this one where I just broke his stamina by using the stamina break like 3 times in a row. I think it's this fight, but I thought that was very funny. So he makes the mistake there of charging up, pretty much right in front of me, and he vanishes twice, and I knew he's going to do that. So then I go for the stamina break, and then I just use another stamina break right there, and he must be feeling very salty at the moment. But again, because I'm doing an insane amount of damage, I know that the second his stamina recharges, he's going to vanish, so then I just use Mystic Flash. At this point, I pretty much know his vanishing habits and patterns, so I already know that I have this match in the bag. So here, I'm kind of letting him do a combo on me, just to see what he's going to do. Will he think that I'm going to vanish? Which he doesn't. But here, I actually did click hyper movement, but it wouldn't let me use it for some reason. Like, I don't know if I wasn't clicking the button properly, but I was. Who knows, whatever. I went for the backflip there, and he just stands completely still for some reason. I don't know why. As you can see there, he actually went for the back hit when I was just blocking. Probably because I have, like, what is that, 4 bars of stamina left, so fair play to him, because the common sense action there would be to, well, vanish, because look at how much stamina he's got. He can afford to use a vanish. So this part was funny. I actually meant to use Mystic Flash there, but I must have misclicked, and then I used the reverse Mabuku Senko, but it turned out in my favour because I beat him with it anyway. The next fight is the fight where I won with the most MLG attack ever. So thanks for watching so far, guys. Feel free to leave any sort of moveset themes in the comments, and I'll be sure to feature them in a future video if I think they're interesting enough. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoy the rest of the video.